much better. So after a pretty good sunshine double for the predictions, I decided to come back and do them again for Madrid. We'll also do them for Rome in a couple of weeks' time, and then, of course, the French Open. But we're going to Madrid right now, and it's a little bit open, so let's go have a look at who I've predicted for this tournament. So a big one first up, Sabalenka Rybakina, defending champion versus the player that's the most in form right now. And I've got to go with Rybakina. She's in form, you got to go with the player that's in form, and I think she'll beat Sabalenka if they do play. So the qualies, a little bit difficult because there's a lot of lucky losers as well, but on the men's side, I've gone with Nakashima because he did so well last week, beating Rublev in Barcelona, and I'm going to go with Danilovic as well, who really played well in the qualifiers, so I think she'll translate that into the main draw. Most successful country. Now, usually I go with the hometown favorites, but this time I'm going to go with Team Russia. I reckon Russia are going to be the most successful country. They've got so many good clay court players, and I reckon they will do the best at this tournament. So aces. It's very hard to hit aces on clay, so I don't expect this number to be very high, but it is a faster clay court in Madrid. I'm going to go with Zverev on the men's side, and on the women's side, I'm going to go with Rybakina. Both ace machines when they're playing well, and of course they have to play well, and I reckon they will. So the big 1-2, Sinner Alcaraz, defending champion versus the most informed player right now, kind of like the Sabalenka-Rybakina comparison. I'm going to go with Sinner in this one. I think Alcaraz with that arm injury is a little bit sketchy for me, and also hasn't played on clay since February, so I'm going to go with Sinner, who's been in much better form. So the unseeded players that I think might have a bit of a run, I'm going to go with Fonseca, the junior, the kid, the 17-year-old from Brazil. I reckon he might have a bit of a run. And on the women's side, I'm going to go with Anisimova, who's come in as a wild card. I reckon because of the French Open she made 5 years ago in that final, I reckon she, on this clay, might be able to use her game to advantage. So top 10 upsets. This is a little bit of a tough one, but then again, maybe not really. I've gone with Rublev. He's been so bad since he got defaulted, and losing to Nakashima last week was a bit of a shock, especially on clay where he is pretty good, Rublev on the clay. And I'm going to go with Zhang, who hasn't been the same since making the Australian Open final. She just keeps losing matches that she should win. So Rublev, Zhang, they're my two upsets for the first rounds. And my dark horse picks, it's a tricky one, this one, but I'm going to go with Federer. In this one, I reckon at home, he's going to play well here. And I'm going to go with Kasatkina. Because why not? If I'm going to pick a dark horse, I'm going to pick my favorite. So I'm going to go with Federer and Dasher to have good runs here. All right, so another big one. Medvedev versus Zverev, or Medvedev and Zverev. Who's going to do better? I reckon Zverev's going to do better. Because I think he'll do better than Medvedev at this tournament. So my hot take for the week, I reckon this is going to be a pretty predictable tournament. I don't think at the end of the tournament we're going to think, oh wow, that was a real big shock. I reckon we're probably going to get maybe some obvious semi-finalists, maybe an obvious winner as well. I don't think this tournament's going to be as unpredictable as maybe it was 12 months ago. So that's my hot take for Madrid. So the semi-finals, again, the toughest thing to do, but I'm going to go with the obvious picks because it makes the most sense. I reckon it's going to be Sinner versus Tsitsipas in the top half. Of course, Tsitsipas has been playing so well lately, and Sinner being Sinner. And I reckon down the bottom it's going to be Alcaraz versus Zverev in the second half. On the women's side, I'm going to go with Swiatek taking on Jabeur. I've taken a bit of a punt on Jabeur, making her go this far. And I'm going to go with the bottom half being Sabalenka versus Rybakina, the two big guns. So no big shock there that I picked the obvious picks, but if you listen to my hot take, you know why I picked them. And the winners. I've got to go with Sinner on the men's side. I think these courts suit him the best. He nearly won Monte Carlo. If it wasn't for a bit of a dodgy line call, maybe he would have won it. And I reckon Rybakina on the women's side is going to win this one. She's just in such great form. And I reckon her game's going to translate on this one. If Sabalenka can win here, so can Rybakina. There it is. They are my predictions for this week.
God, please. Let's keep going. I'm doing so well.
Sunshine Double treated me so well. Let's keep this train rolling. I'm going to get 20 out of 25, or at least I'm going to get a big bunch eventually. And
you won't hear the end of it. I will retire when that happens. So, if this is the last time I see you guys, I appreciate you all watching.